Module 12 SD-WAN policies for hub and spoke topology. So Cisco SD-WAN data plane default mode of operation so is what full mesh topology, right? Full mesh topology. It means even though there is one headquarters site, different branches, but by default, if we do not create any policy, so the default mode of operation is full mesh topology, right? And already we have seen this like full mesh topology, right? In the previous examples, the lab sections, we have already seen this full mesh topology. Now it's time to change the topology from full mesh topology to hub and spoke in Cisco SD-WAN, or maybe partial mesh topology or hub and spoke, right? So hub and spoke topology, Cisco SD-WAN fabric by default creates a full mesh topology between all WAN-S routers. Using the policies on the vManage, we can establish different topologies per segment and create flows as per the design requirements. And what type of policy this would be? I mean, like the changing the topology from the full mesh to the hub and spoke. Of course, control plane, right? Control plane policy, not the data traffic or traffic policy. So, like policy to change the default topology that is full mesh to the hub and spoke means control plane topology policy here. And there are multiple ways a hub and spoke topology can be created for sites for a single or multiple VPNs. So in Cisco SD-WAN, there are different ways to meet the objective to change the topology. The easiest and the simplest method is first one, creating hub and spoke topology policy. And I'll show you in the lab section how to do that. And then custom control topology policy, the next. And third, and changing the next to TLOC address. And the third one is custom control topology policy, rejecting routes. Right, so as there is no sequence, I mean, like there are three different ways to accomplish this task, in fact, to change the topology. So let me start with the first one, hub and spoke topology policy, and then I will discuss like the custom control, and the third one is also custom control policy, like that is rejecting routes. So first one, hub and spoke topology policy. This policy filters advertisements of routes and TLOCs between the spokes, right? Creating hub and spoke topology policy is very simple, very straightforward, right? Just specifying hub site ID and spokes, like these branches, that's all, simply in the control plane policy, of course. But how it is done, I'm going to explain that, just hang in there. So I'm going to explain the process, in fact, how it is done. In fact, hub sites advertises a default route, but not by default. Hub sites advertises a default route, but not by default. For that, we have to do something, right? To the spoke sites to facilitate the routing between the spokes. Okay. So let me explain the first method, hub and spoke topology policy, and then I will move on to the next one. Okay. So like creating hub and spoke topology is like very simple, right? So configuration and then policies, and here add policy. Okay. Next, and this time around add topology hub and spokes. Just I'm showing you the option. I'm not doing this, like I'm not completing this policy, of course. I'll show you in the next lab section. So here like name, description, a VPN list is required here. Okay, and then only hub site here, and spokes. Understood? So edit hub site, and then next step is what? Spokes. So if there are three spokes, add them here, all three spoke sites and one hub site. Done, right? And push this policy, activate this policy to vSmart. Done. It's very easily done, in fact, right? Because it's a template based. I mean, like already there is one option there, creating hub and spoke topology policy, right? But how it is done? So when we create a policy on here on the vManage, and we specify that hub site is this one, ID1, and there are two spokes, and spoke site IDs are 2 and 3, right? Created policy, policy is pushed to the vSmart. Now vSmart knows there is one hub site, site ID1, and two spokes 2 and 3, right? And you understand the objective. What is the objective of the like this hub and spoke topology policy? Objective is very straightforward, changing the topology from full mesh to hub and spoke. It means this way: if branch 1 wants to communicate with branch 2 or branch 2 to branch 1, then they both should communicate via headquarter, right? So that's what the lab objective is, changing the topology from full mesh to hub and spoke. It means branches should not have routes to each other, right? So how it is done? I mean, like if I have just created a hub and spoke topology policy from the vManage, I have specified hub site, spokes, and it's all done. But what is done? So basically, what will happen, like once like this policy is activated, and let me start from branch 2 site. Branch 2 site prefix is 172.16.3.0, right? 3.0 advertise to vSmart. So vSmart receives like prefixes from which site? Site ID 3, agreed. And now vSmart knows site ID 3 means what? Spoke. Site ID 2 is what? Spoke. And hub site ID is 1. So vSmart will advertise 172.16.3.0 prefix only to site ID 1, not to site ID 2. Understood? It's a kind of route filtering, right? In backend, I mean. We haven't done that. I mean, like we have just specified spoke and the hub site, right? But behind the scene, what must be happening? A kind of route filtering. It means prefixes of one site are not advertised to another site, but they all are advertised to hub site. Understood? What if a vSmart controller receives prefix from headquarter site? So as such, there is no restriction. So prefixes received from the headquarter site will be advertised to both VSs. Agreed? Prefixes received from the headquarter site, of course, will be first advertised to the vSmart, and vSmart will advertise prefixes to both sites, site 3 and site 2. But if prefixes are received from one site, either site 3 or maybe site 2, so they both will be only advertised to headquarter site, not with each other. It means vSmart is applying route filtering. So in this way, once this policy is activated, hub and spoke topology policy, and I will show you in the next lab section how to create this policy, how to activate. So what will happen? Then after, if we check the routing table of branch 2 or branch 1, then they both will have only routes to headquarter site. So if headquarter site prefix is 172 dot, here the prefix is 172 vs2.16.1.0, right? So both vs3 and this one vs2, apart from local routes, site local routes, they both will have headquarter route. But BR2 branch 2, of course, will not have route of branch 1, that is 2.0. No route there. And what about branch 1? No 3.0 route, right? Filtered out. So now the question here is, what if they also want to communicate with each other? If my objective is just that branches, they both should never communicate with each other, they both should only communicate to the headquarter, then it's okay, done, right? Branch 1 router prefixes will never be advertised to branch 2, and branch 2 not will be advertised to branch 1. In this way, they both will not know to each other. They both will be having routes to headquarter site, so definitely they will communicate with the headquarter. But what if they want to communicate each other via hub site, right? So now requirement is what? Branches, they should communicate, but not directly, rather via hub site. So just creating hub and spoke topology policy only will not address the problem properly. Why? Because branch 1 router and branch 2 router, if they do not have routes to each other, so at least they should have a default route. Where? In which VPN? Service side VPN, not in VPN 0, right? In service side VPN, that is VPN 10 here. So if they both have a default route in the service side VPN, right? So using that, they can now communicate, and the service, the default route must have been originated by which edge router? Headquarter, of course, right? So the next of IP address should be, next of IP address of default route should be what? VS1. It means for any unknown networks, no specific routes in the service route VPN routing table will be routed to the headquarter site. And now headquarter, of course, would have routes to all sites, because vSmart will advertise prefixes, all prefixes, no matter from which sites prefixes would have been received from, they all will be advertised to the headquarter router. So headquarter router means complete routing database, will be knowing about all like different sites, prefixes, everything. Good. So if branches, they first route packet to the headquarter, so via headquarter, definitely they all can communicate with each other. So if the requirement is, objective is what? Not only branches should communicate to the headquarter, even they should also communicate with each other. Then branch routers, they all should have a default route in their service side VPN routing table. So now the question is, like, the way, like, how like the default route can be like placed in the like service side VPN routing table, and what about the routers behind like them? They all should have also route, because even if the branch 2 router, it has a default route, right, where in the service side VPN, and branch 2 router, right, no default route and no specific route from branch 1, so definitely packet will not be sent to the edge router. So not only a default route in the edge router, even the backend, like I mean like the LAN side router, they should also have a default route pointing to the site local WAN edge router. And do that manually, or do I mean like at somehow you have to ensure that they all should also have default route in their routing tables. First, second, V is routers, branch routers, they should have default route in their routing table pointing to headquarter. Next, so we the easiest method is what? Here on the VS router template, if we create a static route pointing with null 0 interface, right, and advertise in OMP. So in this way, default route will be advertised to both branches, right, and can be easily done with the template. And if you remember, then Initially, what I did, I created separate device template and even one or two feature templates to configure headquarter. Even if why? Because a small change would be required. Even not done there at that time, then definitely we would have to create a new template or maybe like a copy and then edit that. And I'll show you in the lab like how to do that. So the headquarter routers should advertise a default route to both routers, but by default it is not advertised. We have to do that. Or maybe other way around, like let's say here like OSPF protocol is running here, so even we can generate a default route from this, like default information originate always command, and this way default route will be advertised to the edge router and then further redistributed or advertised into OMP protocol. I mean, like either way, like there's no specific rule for that, there is no specific way of doing that. I'll show you like either way, like, but yes, you understand. So the first option to change the topology is what? The easiest method is, the first method is creating hub and spoke topology policy. But this one is not the custom policy. Why it is not custom policy? Why it is not called a custom policy? Because we have just we have specify hub site ID and all spokes only. Right? Spoke 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. And the way of doing the same, I mean like in how many spoke topology, in fact, on the way is creating a custom policy. What is that? Custom policy means, and in fact there are two ways, in fact, not only the next one, third also, both with the help of custom policy. And what do I mean by custom policy? Custom policy, one way, again, so first method, hub and spoke. The next one is, let me write it down clearly here. So the first method, creating the easiest one, hub and spoke topology policy. Default route, of course, need to be advertised by headquarter router. And the way is like what? Creating custom policy with the action reject or route filtering. Because in hub and spoke topology, what is happening behind the scene, I mean like what is happening in the background? vSmart, the control plane, is doing route filtering, prefixes received from one branch, not advertised to another branch, right? So yes, we can do the same with the custom policy even, right? We can create a match and action rule, in fact, control plane policy rule, custom, match this, and then the action should be reject, right? So we can create a custom policy that if like the site ID is 3, then reject, do not advertise to site ID 2, site ID 2, then do not advertise to site ID 3, right? And the way of doing the thing. Again, default route need to be originated, advertised by which router? Headquarter router. And the third method is what? Again, custom policy, but this time around changing the TLOC, right? Let me start from the starting. So branch 1 router, route advertised to vSmart first, which prefix? 122.16.site local, that is 2.0. TLOC, of course there are two TLOC, and TLOC IP, same, system IP 222. What if we create a policy and we push the policy on the vSmart and to change the TLOC? It means routes received from branch 1 advertised this time to branch 2, right? Not rejected, not filtered out, but with different TLOC. Understood? What should be the TLOC? HQ router TLOC. This one 1.1.1. So now R7 will have route to branch 1, but TLOC headquarter. Understood? It's very similar to, if you are like familiar with the DM VPN, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, dynamic multiband VPN. It's very similar to that. Playing with the next hop IP address, right? Because in DM VPN also, in DMVPN, in the hub router, there are two spokes. If spoke 1, spoke 1, spoke 2, and here like the route and route here, and spoke 1 has route to spoke 2 network with the next hop, spoke 2 itself, not with the hub. It means for control plane exchange, hub router is used. Control plane, hub router is used. Routes are exchanged via the hub router. But what about the data plane? In data plane, hub router doesn't play any important role there. Understood? And let me clearly make this point. Or it's like something different than the SD like what we are discussing, but no worries. So if you are like from the networking background, so you must be familiar with this DMVPN. So in DMVPN, again, the transport is like internet and the hub router and spokes here, right? Spokes here. So technically, like a multi-point GRE tunnel is created like this. Routes exchange, of course, inside the tunnel via the hub router, control plane exchange. But for the data plane, now that it depends like what whether we are using DMVPN phase 1, phase 2, or phase 3. Phase 3. Because if R2 has next hop IP that of the R3 in phase 2, so IPsec tunnel is created end to end. I mean like this way, IPsec tunnel. I mean like the GRE tunnel protected with the IPsec. IPsec is of course additional. IPsec is additional, right? So IPsec is additional. So it means like both R2 and R3, they will directly communicate with each other. They will both directly communicate with each other, not via R1 or the hub router. It means hub router only in the like control plane exchange. And you must be aware with the DR media sort of thing, like in like OSPF even, right? So like I mean like you must have seen like this kind of concept like at various places. So here in Cisco SD-WAN, what we are trying to do, like if here like the headquarter router and VS2 1 2, of course routes are exchanged via vSmart, not directly. So first VH here, and then route is advertised to VS2. And if vSmart modifies next hop IP, that is TLOC here, of course, we are playing with the TLOC. So initially, like the when VS will advertise prefix to the vSmart, then VS will advertise its own TLOC, right? Its own TLOC. But what vSmart is doing now, vSmart is replacing the TLOC of VS1 with the headquarters, so that VS2 should know now that in order to route packet to 172.16. What you 2.0, TLOC is what? Headquarter router. So for the data plane exchange, yes, first like the headquarter and then VS. And what do you think? Default route is still required in this scenario? No. So default route is not required. If we are changing the TLOC, default route is not required, right? And custom policy is also created from where? Policies, here, add policy, next, add, and this time around don't select hub and spoke, select what? Custom control route and TLOC, right? And then from here we create a policy, be that like this one, like changing the TLOC, or maybe a route filtering sort of thing, both configured from here. So let me back to the slide. So I hope you understand like how we are going to meet the objective. So first point, you understand hub and spoke topology policy, right? This policy filters advertisements of routes and TLOCs between the spokes. Hub site advertises a default route, but not by default, right? Not by default. For that, like we have to create a static route with the null zero interface, one way, like or maybe some other method, and even the like branch site routers, I mean like the routers behind the branch WAN edge devices, this would also have a default route pointing to their WAN edge devices, like respective WAN edge devices. This would also have default route. Understood, right? You already understand like this concept. Okay. So first method, the second one. So this method, like to create hub and spoke topology, first create the list, groups of interest, site, and VPN. Create centralized policy, select hub and spoke, add hub site and spoke site list. Simple, save policy, activate to vSmart controller or controllers. Okay. Next one, custom control topology policy. Again, this one is rejecting routes is something like the done with the custom control policy. So in this policy, we change the next hop TLOC address for the OMP routes of spokes to the hub's TLOC before the routes are advertised to other spokes. Understood? And the default route is not required. You must make a note of it. In custom control topology policy, in which we modify, we change next hop TLOC address, default route is not required. And if we create custom control topology policy just to reject the routes for the route filtering, then yes, default route is required there. So creating hub and spoke topology can also be achieved using the control policy with denying prefixes. So yes, there are three different methods. I hope you understand all the three different methods. Hub and spoke topology and custom control policy to like filter out the routes, like the route filtering again, route filtering. In both, default route need to be advertised from the hub side. The third one, what? Changing TLOC address. Default route not required at all in the third one. And I will show you in the lab all three methods, right? In the next section, I will create three separate policies to accomplish the same task, right? So to change full mesh topology to hub and spoke, I will show you with all three different methods. Method number 1, method number 2, and method number 3 also. So I hope you will understand then properly how to do that, how to create custom policy or how to create hub and spoke and how to modify or change TLOC address. All right. Okay, so that's all for the theory section. Next, I will show you in the lab.